Let me ask you this. Do your knees ache when you climb the stairs? Or maybe your hips feel stiff when you first get up from your favorite recliner. Some of my patients even tell me they hear little pops and cracks when they bend down to pick something up. My dear friends, if you've noticed these changes after 60, you are not alone. Joint pain is one of the most common complaints I hear in my clinic every single week. And here's the truth. It doesn't always have to be about medication. Many of the aches, stiffness, and soreness can be eased with simple, natural steps that you can do at home. Imagine being able to walk through your neighborhood without that nagging pain, or being able to get down on the floor to play with your grandkids without worrying if you'll get back up again. That's the kind of freedom I want for you. Welcome, my friends. I'm so glad you're here today. If you're living with joint pain, you already know how much it affects daily life. It can keep you from gardening, make grocery shopping harder, or even take the joy out of something as simple as a morning walk. But the good news is this. There are natural, safe, and effective ways to ease joint pain and keep your body moving smoothly. Today, I'm going to share with you practical steps that my own patients use. Gentle exercises, simple dietary choices, and easy daily habits that protect your joints and reduce discomfort. These aren't complicated, and they don't require expensive treatments. They are tools you can begin using today, right here in your own home. The first step to reducing joint pain naturally is movement. Now I know that sounds backwards. When your joints hurt, the last thing you want to do is move. But gentle movement is one of the best ways to keep your joints lubricated and flexible. Think about it like oiling a squeaky door hinge. If it sits still, it gets rusty and stiff. But if you open and close it gently, it loosens up. That's exactly how your knees, hips, and shoulders work. Walking is one of the simplest and most effective exercises. Even 10 to 15 minutes around your block or through your local park can make a big difference. I had a patient in his late 60s who started walking just 5 minutes after breakfast every day. Over the course of a few months, not only did his knee pain ease, but he also noticed more energy and better sleep. Water-based exercises are another excellent choice. Swimming or simply moving in a pool takes the weight off your joints while still letting your muscles work. Many community centers in America have senior swim classes, and patients who try them often tell me it feels like their joints are brand new. Diet also plays a major role. Inflammation is a big contributor to joint pain, and the foods you eat can either add to the problem or help calm it down. Adding more omega-3 rich foods like salmon, walnuts, and flaxseed can naturally reduce inflammation. Colorful fruits and vegetables, like blueberries, spinach, and bell peppers, are loaded with antioxidants that protect your joints from wear and tear. Staying at a healthy weight is another crucial part. Every extra pound adds extra pressure to your knees and hips. I like to tell my patients, imagine carrying around a heavy grocery bag all day. That's what your joints feel when weight builds up. By keeping your weight steady and healthy, you relieve that stress and your joints thank you for it. Another natural approach is using heat and cold. A warm shower in the morning can relax stiff joints, while a cold pack in the evening can ease swelling after activity. These simple home remedies work better than most people expect, and they don't cost a dime. And don't forget about posture. Sitting slouched on the couch or standing unevenly can put extra pressure on your joints. Taking a moment to sit up straight, keep your shoulders relaxed, and distribute your weight evenly goes a long way in protecting your body. Many of my patients also find relief through gentle stretching and yoga. Now you don't have to twist into complicated poses. Simple stretches like reaching your arms overhead or rolling your shoulders back help keep joints mobile and reduce stiffness. Some churches and senior centers even offer chair yoga classes designed specifically for older adults. Finally, let me remind you about hydration. Your joints are cushioned by fluid, and if you're dehydrated, that cushioning doesn't work as well. Drinking enough water throughout the day can make your joints feel less stiff and more comfortable. Over time, these natural steps, movement, diet, hydration, posture, and simple home remedies can reduce your pain and help you stay active. Joint pain doesn't have to control your life. With a few changes, you can enjoy freedom of movement and return to the activities that bring you joy. One area that's often overlooked is the power of strengthening the muscles around your joints. Think of your muscles as the shock absorbers of your body. If your knees or hips are sore, strong muscles can take some of the pressure off those joints. For example, Light leg lifts while sitting in a chair or simple resistance band exercises can help build strength without straining your body. I remember one of my patients, a retired teacher in her 70s, who started doing gentle chair squats. She told me after a month, not only did her knees hurt less, but she felt more confident standing up from low seats without help. Another simple but effective habit is to keep moving throughout the day. Long periods of sitting, like watching television or reading in a recliner, can make stiffness worse. I encourage my patients to set a small timer or use a reminder on their phone to stand up every 30 to 45 minutes, even just to stretch or walk to the kitchen for a glass of water. These little breaks prevent joints from locking up and keep circulation flowing. Let's also talk about spices and natural remedies that may already be sitting in your kitchen. Turmeric, for instance, contains curcumin, which has natural anti-inflammatory properties. Many people add it to warm milk or sprinkle it in soups and stews. Ginger, too, has been shown to ease joint discomfort. These aren't miracle cures, but over time, they can support healthier, more comfortable joints. Massage is another tool you can use right at home. Gently massaging the muscles around sore joints increases blood flow, relaxes tension, and helps with stiffness. Some of my patients use warm olive oil or over-the-counter herbal balms to make it even more soothing. A few minutes before bed can help you wake up more comfortable the next day. Now, I also want to bring up footwear. Shoes make a bigger difference than most people realize. Worn-out shoes or high heels can put uneven stress on your knees, hips, and lower back. Choosing supportive shoes with cushioning can reduce pain, especially if you enjoy walking. I had one gentleman who swapped his old work boots for supportive sneakers, and within weeks, his knee pain had eased dramatically. There's also an important connection between your sleep and your joints. Poor sleep can make pain feel worse, while good rest helps your body repair. If you're waking up stiff, try adjusting your mattress or using pillows to support your knees and back. For example, placing a pillow between your knees, if you sleep on your side, can ease pressure on your hips and lower back. And let's not forget stress. You might not immediately connect stress to joint pain, but stress causes muscle tension, which can worsen pain signals in the body. Relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or even listening to calming music can reduce that tension. One of my patients told me she started ending her evenings with 10 minutes of quiet prayer and slow breathing, and she noticed not only her mind, but her joints felt more at ease. The beauty of all these approaches is that they work together. Moving more, eating wisely, staying hydrated, reducing stress, and caring for your joints naturally build on one another. It's not about one magic cure. It's about creating a daily rhythm that supports your body in many small but powerful ways. Another natural approach to easing joint pain is paying attention to how you use your body during everyday tasks. Many seniors tell me their pain flares up not just from exercise, but from simple chores. Bending to load the dishwasher, lifting groceries, or gardening. The way you move in those moments matters. Using proper body mechanics, like bending your knees instead of your back when picking something up, or holding items close to your body when lifting, can save your joints from unnecessary strain. I often remind my patients it's not about avoiding activity, it's about doing it smarter. Let's also talk about the role of consistency. A few stretches one day, or eating a salad once in a while won't change much. But when you build these habits into your daily life, they start working quietly in the background to protect you. I had a patient who used to suffer from morning stiffness so badly that she dreaded getting out of bed. She committed to a short routine, 5 minutes of stretching, a warm shower, and a glass of water every morning. 3 months later, she told me she was walking her dog every day without pain. The difference wasn't overnight, but it was real and lasting. Natural supplements are another area people often ask me about. While I always encourage getting nutrients from food first, some seniors do find relief from supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin. These are compounds that help support cartilage, the cushioning in your joints. Research shows mixed results, but for some individuals, they can make a noticeable difference. Fish oil supplements are another option for reducing inflammation. If you consider trying these, always check with your doctor to make sure they're safe with your current medications. Another powerful ally for your joints is maintaining good circulation. Poor blood flow can slow healing and make stiffness worse. Gentle activities like yoga, tai chi, or even simple breathing exercises help improve circulation and bring oxygen to your tissues. Many community centers across America now offer Tai Chi classes for seniors, and my patients often rave about how much looser and calmer they feel afterward. Let's not forget about the environment you live in. Cold, damp weather tends to make joints ache more. Some of my patients keep a heating pad nearby in the winter or use layered clothing to keep their joints warm. Even something as simple as soaking your hands or feet in warm water at the end of the day can soothe aches and improve flexibility. Diet plays such a vital role that it's worth emphasizing again. Avoiding foods that increase inflammation, like processed snacks, fried foods, or sugary sodas, can help reduce pain levels. Think of your meals as medicine. When you sit down to a dinner of grilled salmon, steamed vegetables, and a side of brown rice, you're not just eating, you're actively nourishing your joints. Compare that to a plate of greasy fast food, which may fill you up, but can leave your body struggling with inflammation afterward. Now, let me give you another example. I once had a gentleman in his mid-60s who loved barbecues and sodas, but his knee pain was getting so bad he was thinking of giving up golfing. We worked together to adjust his diet, cutting back on the sugary drinks and adding more fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. Within a few months, not only was he golfing again, but he also lost weight, which further reduced the strain on his knees. He told me, "I didn't realize my kitchen was as powerful as my medicine cabinet." The last point I want to add here is about patience and self-compassion. Too often, I see seniors get frustrated when the pain doesn't disappear instantly, but joint health improves slowly, just like a garden grows with steady watering and care. If you give your body consistent kindness through movement, nutrition, hydration, and rest, you will see the rewards. You'll notice fewer bad days, more freedom to move, and the ability to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like strolling through the park or kneeling to plant flowers. Something else I want you to think about is balance. Not just balance in the sense of standing on one leg, but balance in how you use your joints each day. When we favor one side of the body or put repeated stress on the same joint, wear and tear builds up. For example, if you always carry heavy grocery bags on the same arm, your shoulder and elbow on that side may ache more over time. Switching sides, sharing weight evenly, and using both hands can protect your joints in simple but powerful ways. Let's talk a little about rest. Movement is essential, but so is giving your joints time to recover. Many of my patients in the US enjoy gardening, walking, or even pickleball, and sometimes they push themselves too hard on good days. The result is flare-ups the next day. Learning to listen to your body is a skill. If your knees are whispering, "Take it easy today," it's better to rest than to push through. Rest doesn't mean doing nothing. It can mean switching to a gentler activity like reading, light stretching, or a warm bath. Another important part of joint health is strengthening your core muscles, your abdominals, back, and hips. Act like the frame of a house. If the frame is weak, everything else feels shaky. But if your core is strong, your body is more stable and your joints face less pressure. Simple core exercises like sitting tall in a chair and pulling your belly button gently toward your spine can make a real difference. One of my patients started doing 5 minutes of gentle core work every morning, and after a few months, she noticed her lower back pain was almost gone. Hydration deserves another mention here because it's one of the simplest but most overlooked habits. Your joints are cushioned by a substance called synovial fluid, and that fluid depends on water. If you're not drinking enough throughout the day, your joints lose some of that cushion. I often suggest carrying a refillable water bottle. Every sip you take is like refreshing the oil in those door hinges we talked about earlier. Something many seniors find helpful is alternating activity and recovery. For instance, if you enjoy walking, follow it with 10 minutes of gentle stretching or a few minutes with a warm compress. If you've been on your feet cooking or cleaning, take a short break to elevate your legs. This rhythm of effort and recovery keeps joints from getting overworked. I also want to highlight the role of community. When you move with others, whether in a walking group, a yoga class, or even just a stroll with your neighbor, you're more likely to stay consistent. Plus, being with others lifts your mood, and when your mood is better, pain feels more manageable. I've had patients tell me that their weekly walking group is the highlight of their week, not just for the exercise, but for the laughter and friendship that come with it. Now let's talk about mindset. Pain can be discouraging, and sometimes people feel like, this is just part of getting old and nothing will help. But the truth is, many things can help. You just need to give them a chance. I've seen patients in their 70s and 80s reduce their pain and regain independence by making steady, natural changes. The key is believing that improvement is possible. Finally, let's not forget sleep once again. A body that rests well repairs well. If you struggle with joint pain at night, try experimenting with sleeping positions. Using supportive pillows like a small pillow under your knees if you sleep on your back or between your knees if you're on your side can reduce stress on your joints. A warm shower before bed can also ease stiffness and help you settle into deeper, healing rest. All of these natural strategies, movement, strength, rest, hydration, diet, posture, and mindset, work together like parts of a team. None of them is perfect on its own, but together, they create an environment where your joints can thrive and your pain can lessen. Let's take a moment to think about one of the most powerful yet underestimated tools for joint health: weight management. Every extra pound on your body adds almost 4 pounds of pressure on your knees with each step. So, if you're carrying an extra 10 pounds, that's like asking your knees to handle 40 extra pounds every time you walk across the room. I remember one patient in his mid-60s who loved homemade pies and sweet tea. When he made small adjustments, like cutting back on sugary drinks and adding more vegetables, he lost just 8 pounds. That modest change was enough for him to walk up his porch steps without pain for the first time in years. Now let's talk about one of my favorite therapies: heat and cold. The beauty is you can do this right at home. When your joints feel stiff and achy, heat helps loosen tight muscles and bring blood flow. A warm shower, a heating pad, or even a microwaved rice sock can work wonders. On the other hand, when your joints are swollen after activity, cold can be your friend. A simple ice pack wrapped in a towel, applied for 10 to 15 minutes, can calm inflammation and give you relief. Many of my patients alternate between heat and cold depending on how their joints feel that day, and they swear by it. Another natural strategy that's becoming more popular is mindfulness and meditation. At first glance, you might wonder, what does my mind have to do with my knees? But research shows that when you calm your nervous system, your body perceives less pain. One of my patients, a retired nurse, began a daily 5-minute meditation using a simple phone app. Within weeks, she noticed her pain didn't bother her as much, even though her arthritis hadn't disappeared. Her brain had learned to soften the pain signals, and that gave her a new sense of freedom. We should also touch on supplements again, because I know many of you are curious. In addition to glucosamine and omega-3s, some studies suggest that vitamin D and calcium are important for joint and bone health, especially if you don't get much sun exposure. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, which keeps your bones strong and reduces the risk of joint pain from weakened support. In fact, I often test my senior patients for vitamin D deficiency because so many people, especially in northern states during winter, don't get enough. Now, beyond supplements, I want you to think about your living space. Home safety is directly tied to joint health. A slippery bathroom floor or a loose rug can lead to falls, which put tremendous stress on already sore joints. Simple changes like using a non-slip mat in the shower, adding grab bars, or wearing shoes with good traction indoors can prevent accidents that set your joints back months. Another interesting tip is paying attention to your posture during hobbies. Many seniors love activities like knitting, reading, or using the computer. But sitting for long periods with your head bent or shoulders hunched puts extra strain on your neck, shoulders, and even your wrists. Taking stretch breaks, adjusting chair height, and using cushions for support can make your favorite hobbies much more comfortable. And don't underestimate the healing power of joyful movement. Dancing, gardening, or even light yard work counts as exercise. One of my favorite stories is from a patient who joined a senior line dancing class at her local community center. She told me, "I thought I was just going for fun, but my joints stopped aching, and I feel younger than I have in years." Movement doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be something you genuinely enjoy. The truth is, joint health isn't about one secret fix. It's about building a lifestyle where your body feels supported every single day. Small, steady steps, whether it's swapping soda for water, taking that 10-minute walk, or soaking in a warm bath, stack up over time. And when you put them together, you'll notice not just less pain, but more freedom, energy, and joy in your daily life. Let's turn to something very practical: food as medicine. The choices on your plate every day can either fight inflammation or feed it. For instance, processed foods like white bread, pastries, fried chicken, or soda can fuel inflammation in your joints. On the other hand, colorful, fresh foods like leafy greens, berries, sweet potatoes, salmon, and olive oil act almost like a soothing balm inside your body. One of my patients once told me, when I started eating more vegetables and fewer fried foods, my knees felt like they were 10 years younger. It wasn't magic, it was simply reducing the internal fire of inflammation. Spices are also powerful allies. Turmeric, ginger, and garlic have all been shown to help calm inflammation naturally. Many of my patients enjoy adding a teaspoon of turmeric to warm milk at night or a bit of fresh ginger to their tea in the morning. These simple habits may not seem dramatic, but over time they build a foundation of relief and resilience for your joints. Another area we often forget is the power of gentle weight-bearing exercise. Your joints are surrounded by cartilage and supported by bone. If you don't use them, they weaken. But when you walk, climb stairs slowly, or even do light resistance training, your body responds by strengthening the bones and protecting your joints. I had a patient in his 70s who thought lifting light hand weights was too late for him. But after a few months of a very gentle routine, he not only reduced his shoulder pain, but also found he could carry his groceries without stopping to rest. There's also a special benefit in water exercises. Pools take the weight off your joints, allowing you to move freely and strengthen muscles without pain. Many YMCA centers and senior communities across the U.S. offer water aerobics classes. Patients who try them often say it feels like freedom, being able to move their arms and legs without that heavy ache. Now let's bring in something you may not have considered: breathing. When we breathe deeply, it improves oxygen flow, relaxes tight muscles, and lowers stress hormones that contribute to pain. Try this simple exercise with me. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a slow breath in through your nose, filling your lungs. Hold it gently for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Doing this for just a couple of minutes a few times a day can lower tension and reduce how strongly your body feels pain. And speaking of stress, let's not ignore the emotional side of joint health. When you're under stress, your muscles tighten, your sleep suffers, and pain feels worse. Finding ways to relax, whether through prayer, meditation, listening to music, or simply spending time with loved ones, has a direct impact on how your joints feel. I've seen patients who reduced stress and noticed their joint pain ease significantly, even without changing anything else. Another practical tip: protect your joints with simple tools. If opening jars hurts your wrists, use a jar opener. If standing to cook causes hip pain, use a tall stool to sit while chopping vegetables. These little adjustments reduce strain and allow you to keep doing the things you love without giving up independence. Finally, let's talk about celebrating progress. Too often, my patients focus only on what still hurts. But I encourage them to notice small victories. Maybe you can walk a block farther today than you could last month. Maybe you can rise from a chair without as much stiffness. These moments matter. They are signs that your body is responding to your care. When you acknowledge them, you build confidence and hope, which motivates you to keep going. The truth is, joint pain after 60 does not mean the end of mobility. It means your body is asking for a little extra care, a little more consistency, and some natural support. When you listen to it, through healthy foods, movement, hydration, rest, and stress relief, you give your joints a second chance at strength and freedom. As we step back and look at everything we've talked about, I want you to notice something important. None of these natural ways to ease joint pain are complicated. They're not extreme, they don't require expensive treatments, and they're certainly not out of reach. They are small, everyday choices. Stretching gently in the morning, drinking more water, choosing foods that calm inflammation, moving your body with kindness, and allowing yourself both activity and rest. Each one by itself may seem simple, but together, they create a powerful routine that can carry you through the years ahead with more comfort and freedom. I know joint pain can feel discouraging. It can make you wonder if the best years of movement and activity are behind you, but I want you to remember this: your body is resilient. Even after 60, 70, or 80 years, it is still capable of healing, adapting, and strengthening. I've seen it countless times in my patients who believed they couldn't change things. And then slowly, through steady effort, they found new life in their joints. Think about the joy of walking more easily through the farmer's market, kneeling down to plant flowers without wincing, or getting on the floor with your grandchildren and knowing you can stand back up again. These are not faraway dreams. They're very real possibilities when you care for your body with patience and consistency. So take heart. You don't need to do everything at once. Start with what feels manageable. Maybe it's a glass of water before your morning coffee, or a short walk after dinner, or adding an extra vegetable to your plate. These small steps, repeated day after day, will add up to something greater than you imagine. And each step forward is proof that you still have the power to shape your health, to protect your joints, and to create a life filled with movement, joy, and independence. My dear friends, I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. I know you could be doing 100 other things, and the fact that you chose to listen means you care deeply about your health. That in itself is a powerful step forward. Remember, joint pain does not define you, and it does not have to control your days. With steady care, your body can surprise you with just how strong and capable it still is. If you found comfort or encouragement here, I'd love for you to stay connected. Share your own experiences in the comments. I always enjoy hearing how you're doing and what's working for you. And if you'd like more guidance like this, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss future conversations. Together, we can continue building a community of strength, hope, and healthier living. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Move gently, eat wisely, rest deeply, and know that each choice you make is an investment in your freedom and your future. God bless you, and I wish you many pain-free, joyful days ahead.